Hey, this is Nilsson, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for today here is a quick tutorial on one of the single best body weight exercises you can do, the handstand push-up. Now, if you've never done one of these before, they can be pretty scary to do, but the rewards are there. When I first started training, it was one of my goals to be able to do a lot of handstand push-ups. And I got to the point at one point where I was able to do a set of 50 unbroken in a row. I'm not there right now, but what I'm going to do here is give you kind of a tutorial on how I bumped myself up to getting that level of handstand push-up. So the first thing you need to do is get comfortable with the idea that you're going to be upside down. Now you're also going to need a base level of strength to perform this kind of thing, and you can kind of gauge that by kicking up into a handstand up against the wall. This is a version that I'm going to show you here. You don't want to be doing freestanding when you're basically just starting off doing handstands. So the way I first did this is I did this in a daily specialization type of routine, where the first time I tried to do a handstand push-up, I kicked up into the position and I just held it there until I couldn't hold it anymore, and then I did a very controlled negative all the way down until my head just lightly touched the floor, and then drop my feet back down. I would do that in the morning. 1 rep, that's it. Come nighttime, I would do the same thing. Kick up into the handstand, I would do this up against the door at that point. Hold that position and then just lower, slowly fighting the negative all the way down, gradually building up strength. Now, the key that I found for this one is frequency. So I would do the same thing every single day, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. And gradually, over the course of days and weeks and over the period of a couple of months, I was able to work myself up to eventually doing a set of 40, and then at another time I was able to do a set of 50 reps. So yeah, like I said, I'm not there now, but this is going to be kind of how I did this. So I'll show you the mechanics of kicking up into the handstand. Now, if you're not too comfortable with this, you may want to have somebody spotting you on the legs. So they'll be standing right here beside you so that they can catch your legs, put your feet up against the wall. Now, once you kind of get the hang of the movement of kicking up into this position, it's actually not that hard to do. And you'll get a feel for it, and it's actually relatively easy to do. So I'm going to kick up into a handstand, hold it, and then show you the negative that I was doing when I first started training these. So what you want to do is set your hands, I should say, about 4 to 5 inches away from the wall. So it's going to give you an angle in towards the wall. That way you're pretty much doing like a, not completely vertical, but very close to vertical. The reason for that is you don't want to be falling backwards so that your feet come and hit the floor again. You want to stay up in that position, leaning against the wall. The wall is there for your support. Another quick tip, when you're doing these, wear either shoes or socks that slide up and down the wall relatively easily. If you're wearing shoes with a good solid grip on them, they might catch on the wall and actually slow down your movement. So here's what the kick up looks like. Again, set your hands, put your feet, set your fingers out wide so you're getting a good wide base of support. Hands should be just a little bit outside of shoulder width, not too much different than that. So set them here. You're going to be kind of in a sprinter start position. That's going to give you the most power to get to the top. So you push forward with one, push forward with the other, and kick up against the wall, and catch your feet up against the wall. So that's holding the top handstand position. And then I would just fight that negative all the way down. Very simple. That's really all there is to it as far as starting off with a handstand push-up. So again, kick up to that top, hold that position, and then fight that negative all the way down. So what I did is just 1 rep of that in the morning, 1 rep of that in the evening, and then as I started to develop strength, I would actually lower it and then push back up. So eventually I was getting, like I said, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 5, 6, 15, 20, 30, 40 reps at a time. And in case you're wondering if this translates into strength in your other exercises, absolutely it does. I don't have particularly great shoulders, and I got to the point where I could easily do 95-pound dumbbells for a seated shoulder press, coming all the way down here, pressing all the way up. It's a fantastic carryover into strength, and if you are not able to get to a gym right now, this is a fantastic way to keep your shoulder strength and even develop much greater shoulder strength using just your own body weight. So what I'm going to do now here is show you several reps of the handstand push-up. Now, because you're doing these on the floor, it's a very short range of motion, so you're really, just doing like the top, very strongest portion of the range of motion compared to a full range military press or dumbbell press. That's totally fine. Because you're using a heavier load of your body weight than probably you're used to, this is going to be actually very beneficial to you. So, if you do get strong enough, you can also use what's called parallettes, where you have small handles or even dumbbell handles that you can use to give yourself a little bit greater range of motion. This is something that's definitely more advanced. I wouldn't even try this until you're getting up into the 20 rep range for handstand push-ups. But anyways, here's a more complete set of handstand push-ups. So, like I said, I'm not at the 40 rep mark right now. It was only about 5 reps, but still not too bad, all things considered. So, if the handstand push-up is something you've been looking to try out, now's a great time to work on it. You can, if you are worried about hitting your head on the floor, make sure that you're strong enough to do these. Get a spotter. You can even do these on a carpeted floor just fine. And just remember, if you ever need to kick out, you just kick yourself back, catch your feet on the floor, easy peasy. I've never had any issues with this at all. And just make sure that you're not coming down really hard, obviously, as you're doing these. So you really want to make sure that you're controlling the movement at all times. There's no bouncing. You're not bouncing your head off the ground unless you really, really think that it's going to be beneficial to you to crack your skull into the ground. I wouldn't recommend it. So give these a try. If you have any questions about the daily specialization training, feel free to fire down in the comments below there. Essentially, like I said, you're doing these twice a day, every single day, no break. It doesn't matter what you're working in other muscle groups, in other workouts during that day, you always do these. And it won't go in a straight line all the way up. You'll have some days when you're getting, maybe 5 reps, the next day you get 4 reps. And then you go up to 7 reps, and then maybe you go down to 4 or 5 reps. But gradually the trend is going to be up and up and up, and you will develop some substantial strength in your handstand push-up exercise and in your shoulders, and this translates into other pressing exercises as well. So give these a try. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions, and I think you're going to enjoy these.